Greetings. Good day. Good day. I hope you all are well. I'm just setting up here. Awesome. How are you? Good day. Good day. I hope you're well. Hey there. How are you? Sending you and the family love. Awesome. Great. So, for those of you who are here for the first time and those of you who are not here for the first time, my name is Odessa. I am a mind, body, soul, and womb wellness activator, amongst many different things. And I love to talk to you about all things healing, wholeness, expansion, womb wellness, just things that really help to raise the vibe, just, keep you in the mood, keep you moving forward. And so each episode that I come here on the different platforms to share with you, I want to just give you a little piece of my world of what I experience and things that I think may or may not affect you as well. And so I want to start off today's episode talking with you all about the things that we experience in and around us and we don't necessarily pay attention to, that we push to the side, right? Like how many times, how often have you noticed or found yourself in the middle of some kind of a transition? Things are changing around you, things that you've done before don't necessarily apply. You may not be interested in certain techniques or protocols or ways of being, of eating, of, routines that you had. Maybe things are changing for you. Maybe your intuition is opening up, maybe your gut feeling is starting to tap in a little bit more. Maybe the things that you're suspecting happening or are starting to happen a little bit more, right? And at the same time as this is happening, you may be experiencing more let's say system functions breakdown, right? System breakdowns. You may be experiencing more aches and pains, as time goes by, because you're also, time is passing. Maybe you're aging, maybe you're experiencing chronic illness, that just seems to be accumulating onto itself, right? But you keep pushing through. And this is the piece here that I want to touch on, right? Is that in the middle of, things starting to shift, things starting to change, things starting to evolve for you, there are different layers of light that we step into, right? The light of awareness. Oh, I didn't realize this. Oh, I have this new way of doing something. Oh, okay. Here's the next step on the path that I'm going to be taking. And, you may feel as though you have more reprieve, you have more ease, the ability to do things. At the same time, there's also a level of what we would call shadow, or a level of work that needs to be done. As high into the light as we'd like to go is as deep into the darkness, into the shadow, into the icky, scuzzy stuff that we also need to go to be able to understand, how to sustain the light bearing awareness that we are in the process of becoming more of, right? Because it's always inside of us. And so this is important because in today's society, well, the way society has sculpted the group think is, things that are discomforting shouldn't be welcomed. Things that don't feel good, we shouldn't spend time on them because, well, that's not what we're here to do. And so just focusing on making it look good, on pushing through, pushing past, and keeping on. But the thing about it is that the darkness protects the light. right? So things that make us feel uncomfortable or illness that creates different levels of challenge are always aspects of ourselves that are requiring more um, revision, right? That are requiring us to grow and blossom. It's like we have this dream and goal of ourselves that we're growing into, that we're moving towards, but we don't realize that the process of growing into, the vision of ourselves means that there's work that has to be done. And in today's society, we tend to have a difficult time doing these kinds of reflective things. And so, all of that to say, when we're experiencing discomfort in our physical body, in our emotions, in our mental paradigm, in the way that we observe and live with spirit and amongst nature, when there's a problem within that, we tend to avoid it, suppress it, ignore it, do something else, try to, pack on more external validations. We keep on trucking, right? Especially when it comes to women's health and wellness, because of the nature of how women have been positioned in society to be the caregivers, to be the martyrs, to have a kind of victim mentality. And so, just keeping in mind, like the aches and the pains that you're feeling, they're also telling you something. It isn't just, oh, I feel as though maybe I need to be doing something else in life. And, oh, I feel as though there's something that, maybe you need to be doing. I just keep on getting these kinds of thoughts and feelings that we should be following, right? It's also, oh, something is not right, within me. Something that I have been avoiding is coming up into my peripheral because it's requiring my attention. Oh, this particular challenge, me speaking to myself, like keeps on repeating itself. So what have I not dealt with so that I can, fully move on to, the next level, the next layer, right? And so, like, we tend to just kind of keep our aches and pains close by. We keep them, just near and dear to us. And so, sometimes, within all of that, the dream is to move away from, things that are going to cause and create pain, because we want to experience a deeper sense of peace and relief, right? From these deep aches and pains that we're feeling, or, the emotional turmoil or the unresolved grief that we're carrying. We don't realize that we're carrying, but it might show up as irritability and anxiousness, and, a mixed sense of excitement and relief, when it comes to, different activities that we partake in, and we're not necessarily sure of some of the ambiguous or nebulous experiences that we're having. I hope I'm not speaking too ethereal right now, right? But a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of people who I'm speaking with these days are talking about the desire to feel a deeper sense of peace and relief within themselves and the work that they're doing, in what it is that they strive for, and in their physical bodies, right? People are buying crystals. I've just gone and purchased my first quartz crystal. What does this crystal mean? And or maybe you're trying new foods. You've decided that you're going to, integrate one extra salad per week, and you're going to do one smoothie a week as well, to start changing, your habits, start, moving into different aspects of your of your new lifestyle change. You may decide that, maybe, hey, it's time for you to become a bit more religious. Maybe you need to, get closer to your source of inspiration, your source of divine power. Or maybe you feel as though it's time for you to commit yourself to a new spiritual path, or you're going to start listening to a podcast. But like, there's just this desire to do something different because you want to be experiencing something different, especially if you're feeling as though you're at a junction. You're at a fork in the road. You are working your way through the process of transformation and transmutation, right? And so I've had people who I've had the fortune of working with, who have come with a myriad of issues, of problems that they themselves have been working with, living through, challenged by. And there's usually a very similar thread that I can see in my clients, whereas oftentimes there is some kind of a chronic illness, be it very serious, long-term, or maybe even in the last 5 years. But there's some kind of a chronic health issue that they're working with. There's some kind of so this is like a weakness or vulnerability there. There's a desire to heal and help others, specifically people who are attracted to my work, people who I work with. There can also be a desire to help others. And there's also a very strong creative aspect to the work that they do. They might be already established as artists in their own right. They may have just been within art for a long time, or maybe this is something that they're coming to. And so I have found that, the artists are healers, and the healers are artists. Like there's this interchangeable. I mean, we are all healers. Every person, every individual is an artist and is a healer. We are everything at once. Some people within their path, within their purpose and the priority of their beingness, the priority of the purpose of being here now to express is to be more creative, more artistic, or be of service to humanity in ways that are a bit more frontline and hands-on. And so those people who I tend to work with, they come with this moment of revelation, of awareness, of like, okay, I need to refine what it is that I'm going through. I need to understand what it is that I'm going through. Something is changing. I am not the same. Something is wrong. I have been I'm at the point of integrating. I'm not sure how to, there's always like this moment of juxtaposition, crossroads that I find that people who find me tend to come with. And so the work that we do together, usually walks through the process of helping them to integrate whatever it is that they're going through, right? Because like I said, or like I often say, like you've got to work on all levels to really be able to, or you need to engage at least 2 senses, your sight, your sound, your taste, your touch, in very therapeutic ways to be able to establish true longevity within your healing, within your wellness journey. And so there's a level of confidence, of clarity, and of increased well-being, right? Of increased energy, of increased acuity, of increased understanding of self, of the direction that they want to go. There's usually a better sense of empowerment, of body autonomy, of recognizing, okay, well, this is who I am. This is the space that I embody, and this is the next level, the next place that I want that I want to embody, right? And so, what we have noticed is that through that process of recognizing where you are in your journey, where you are, on your path of healing and wellness, one of the biggest keys to your success will always be your mindset, and will always be understanding and seeing what success looks like for you, right? What does success in your wellness look like? What does success in your emotional life look like? What does success in your mental life, in your thinking, in your thought process look like? You know what I mean? What does success in ceremony look like to you? When we can get clear on what this looks like for you in your life, and then we can also have you recognize where you're not aligned, right? And why you're not aligned in these particular areas, and keep you accountable to the actions that it takes, right, to establish the new patterns that you want. This is when we have seen, the successes that my clients and practitioner students have been searching for, right, in the 9-month and 12-month programs that I offer. And so I thought that was really really interesting to share, because being able to assess and understand what your needs are, being able to assess and understand what's happening around you is of the greatest importance. And we're at a period of time right now in history, in the history of mankind, in the history of of human beings, of this specific civilization, of like, it's just such a poignant moment in our evolution, and being accountable to whatever it is that that you need to do is of the greatest and utmost importance. And that level of accountability comes with being aware and giving yourself permission to really take responsibility for that. Okay. So if you liked what you heard, let me know below. Tell me what your takeaways are, and hashtag replay in the comments if you're on the replay. And I will be checking the comments and making sure to come back and communicate with you all. Until then, please make sure to share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes coming in the future. I love you all. I love sharing with you. We'll be talking again soon. Be well. Bye.